All right, shalom, shalom, shalom. This is the brother Yair Radah, right? Coming at y'all, man. First and foremost, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shah, Yahweh being the name of the Heavenly Father, right? And Yahweh Shah being who the world ignorantly calls Jesus, right? But today, man, this is gonna be a quick video. It's not gonna be real long, man. Just going over the awakening, man. Who are the people of God, right? Who are we as a people? Who are the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, right? Are we African Americans, right? The last names of two white men, Africa being a man coming from a European man named Leo Scipio Africanus, right? American coming from an Italian man, I believe, named Amerigo Vespucci, right? Are we black, right? The color of my hair, right? The color out of a crayon box, right? Are we niggas, right? Are the Hispanic are they Mexicans, right? Wetbacks, right? Are the Native Americans called Native Americans, right? Are they Indians, right? So we gonna get down to the bottom of this, man. We gonna see who are the people of the Bible, who are the chosen people of the Bible, right? Who are the people in the Bible, right? Who are the people of the scripts? And Lord willing, y'all edified by the end of this video and y'all realize through the precepts, right, that the people of the Bible are so-called black people, right? That they're so-called black people, man, right? They have color in the Bible. People like to believe that there's colors not mentioned in the scriptures, right? People like to believe that the Messiah is a so-called white man, even though the scriptures literally say otherwise, right? If you ask somebody what color is the Messiah, color doesn't matter. Yet color is in the scriptures. Therefore, they saying the scriptures don't matter, right? A lot of our people they have trouble relating to the scriptures and to the Bible, and just taking interest in it because they don't find themselves in the scriptures, right? They feel when they read them, they feel like they reading about people that have nothing to do with them, which is the white race, right? Let's just call it how it is, right? But we're gonna go through the precepts, man, proving precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little and there a little, that we are the people of the scriptures, man, and we're found all throughout the Bible, and that this Bible was given to us, for us, and only for us, right? So let's get to it, man. We're gonna start it off with Job chapter 30 and 30, right? We're gonna go through examples and precepts, not examples, but precepts of prophets in the scriptures calling themselves black. Not as a nationality, not as an ethnicity, but as a color, because people love to say color doesn't matter and color is not in the scriptures, right? But let's get to it though. This is Job chapter 30 and 30. It says, "My skin is black upon me." Right? So he said straight up, he said, "My skin is black upon me." Right? Reading on. "And my bones are burned with heat." Right? What happens when the sun beams down on us, right? We get darker. Right? So Job said, look, he said, "My skin is black upon me and my bones are burned with heat." Right? Let's get some more accounts, man. Let's go to Songs of Solomon, chapter 1. Go to Songs of Solomon, chapter 1. Right? This is Songs of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 5. And it reads, "I am black but comely." Right? So straight off the bat, he said, "I am black but comely." Right? Comely meaning beautiful or handsome. Right? So straight off the bat, he said, "I am black but comely. O ye daughters of Jerusalem, as the tents of Kedar, as the curtains of Solomon. Look not upon me, because I am black, because the sun hath looked upon me. My mother's children were angry with me. They made me the keeper of the vineyards, but my own vineyard have I not kept." Right? So straight up, like straight like that. He said, look, he said, "I am black but handsome." Right? He said, "Look not upon me because I am black." right? So Solomon and Job both came straight out and said they was black. This is in the scriptures, in the Holy Bible, right? Let's get another account, right? Let's get Daniel, the book of Daniel. Let's get the book of Daniel, uh, chapter 7 and verse 9. Right. This is the book of Daniel, chapter 7 and verse 9. It says, now this is the description of the Most High God, right? A lot of people feel like the Most High God is just a big puff of smoke, or he's just a fire, right? But let's see what the Most High is, right? In the scriptures. This is Daniel chapter 7 and verse 9. I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit, right? So another title for the Most High is the Ancient of Days, right? Yahweh, right? The Most High, Yahweh, the Ancient of Days, God, right? So it says, the Ancient of Days did sit, whose garment was white as snow, right? So first and foremost, let's think about this. The Most High is sitting on the throne, right? He has a garment on, right? So clearly that means he has a body, right? People like to believe that he's just smoke, a puff of smoke that just exists, right? The Most High got a body, right? He got on the all white garment, right? Let's read on. As white as snow, and the hair on his head like the pure wool. So the Most High got hair, man, right? The Most High got hair, and it says that his hair is like a pure wool, right? What people on the earth have woolly hair, right? So-called blacks, we got woolly hair, and the Most High has pure wool, right? Read on. His throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels as burning fire, right? So we just got a brief description of what the Most High looked like, right? So let's get the account of what his son looked like, right? Because if the father is black, it's a so-called black man, right? Let's see what his son is in the scriptures, right? See what his son is. Let's get Revelations chapter 1 and verse 1. And it reads, the revelation of Jesus Christ, which God gave unto him to show unto his servants things which must shortly come to pass, right? So we're getting ready to go into and read a description about what the Messiah looks like, right? So let's drop down to verse 13, and it reads, and in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man, clothed with a garment down to the foot. So the Messiah got a garment clothed down to his foot, right? And a girt about the paps with a golden girdle. So he had all gold girdle on, right? Like a belt, like a wide belt. He had a girdle on, right? Read on, verse 14. His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow. So it gave the color and the texture. Said his head and his hairs, meaning what? His head, meaning the hair on his head, and his hairs, meaning his beard, was white like wool. That's the color, right? And then it says as white as snow, or Salakia, as white like wool. Wool being the texture, right? Once again, what people have woolly hair, naturally woolly hair, right? So-called blacks, right? And then it gives the color, which is as white as snow, right? The depiction that they put in these churches and that they put in society, period, it's a so-called white man with stringy dog hair. He got brown hair and blue eyes, right? Let's keep reading on. So already, we only read one verse, and already, you feel me? He don't fit the description. Right here, say he got all white hair like snow, and his hair is woolly. Right? Let's keep reading on. His eyes were as a flame of fire, meaning his eyes was red, And his feet, now we're looking at his feet, right? Everybody's feet is the same color as the rest of their body, right? Let's read on. And his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace, right? So brass is a brown color. It's like a penny, right? Brass. It's like a penny. And then it tells you how dark he even was by telling you, look, he was so dark, it looked like he got burned in a furnace. Let's read it again. And his, verse 15, and his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace, right? So he was a dark-skinned man, right? So we just went through different accounts all throughout the scriptures, right? From the Old Testament to the New Testament, different accounts in scriptures of prophets in the scriptures, even the Most High God himself being so-called black men, right? Let's get another one, right? Let's go to Jeremiah. Let's go to Jeremiah 14 and verse 2, right? This is Jeremiah chapter 14 and verse 2, and it says, Judah mourneth. Now that word Jew literally comes from the word Judah, right? So this is talking about the Jews right now, right? Read on. It says, Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish. They are black unto the ground, and the cry of Jerusalem is gone up. So it literally just told you, said, look, the Jews are in mourning, right? Aren't we in mourning right now, right? Haven't we always been in mourning, right? Aren't we getting gunned down in the streets, right? We don't get a fair shake in this society, right? We the last hired, first fired, right? We at the bottom of society, right? We living in poverty amongst all the nations, right? So let's read that again. It says, Judah mourneth, we're in mourning, right? And the gates thereof languish, they are black unto the ground. The deeper you dig in the earth, the darker the mud gets, right? The deeper the darker the mud gets, right? It says they are black unto the ground. So all throughout the scriptures, it literally tells you that the people of the Bible are black, so-called black men, right? Tell you the Jews were black, right? The Messiah was black, right? Job was black. Solomon was black. The Most High has woolly hair. He's a black man, right? So when you go through this Bible, you got to get that picture of it being a so-called white man's book. Because, our people love to throw that out. Oh, that's a white man's book, man. You read that, that's a white man's book. Nah, it's not a white man's book, right? This book is ours. It was made, written, and everything for us. But what they did was they painted the likes of their image in our book. They teach the book as if they're the ones that the book is speaking about. But we going to go through these scriptures, man, and prove that it's talking about us, right? We just went through how the people of the book are blacks, right? Straight like that. So it shouldn't be no thing of, oh, no, that's white people and this and that and that. Nah, the people of the book are black, man. The Israelites, most importantly, right? The Jews. So let's get into that, man. Let's get into that. Let me prove first, real quick. This is Babylon to Timbuktu. All right, this is Babylon to Timbuktu. I think I'm on page 84. This is Babylon to Timbuktu, page 84, and it reads, in the year 65 BC, the Roman armies under General Pompey captured Jerusalem. In 70 AD, General Vespucian and his son Titus put an end to the Jewish state, which with great slaughter. During the period of the military governors of Palestine, many outrages and atrocities were committed against the residue of the people. During the period from Pompey to Julius, it was estimated that over 1 million Jews fled into Africa. Now, this is important because you got a lot of people that say that we Africans. We're not Africans, man. The Lord even said in the scripture, we gonna get it. We gonna get it. The Lord even said in the scripture, he puts a difference between the Egyptians and the Israelites, right? And you should know that the ancient Egyptians are Africans. The Africans are the ancient Egyptians, right? And right here it says, during the period from Pompey to Julius, it was estimated that over 1 million Jews fled into Africa, fleeing from Roman persecution and slavery. The slave markets were full of black Jew slaves, not African slaves, black Jew slaves, right? Because we are not from Africa. You got a lot of people that believe that we come from, we're from Africa. Africa is the motherland. The Lord didn't call Africa the motherland, right? Let's get that in real quick. Let's get that in Galatians. All right, let's get that in Galatians real quick. Let's get that in Galatians 4. This is Galatians chapter 4 and verse 26. And it reads, "But Jerusalem, which is above, is free, which is the mother of us all." Right? So the scriptures tell you that Jerusalem is the mother of us all. That's the motherland, not Africa. Right? But Jerusalem, which is in Israel. Right? And that's where we came from as a people. We didn't come from Africa, as in grew up and started as a people in Africa. We started in Jerusalem, in the land of Israel, right? And we fled into Africa, right? Fleeing from Roman persecution in 70 AD. That's how we ended up in the land of Africa, right? The so-called Africans was already there. We was somewhere else because we're not the same as Africans, right? Let's get that. Let's get that in the book of Exodus. Right? Because even the Lord said that. Right? This is the book of Exodus chapter 11 and verse 7. "But against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue against man or beast, that ye may know that the Lord doeth put a difference between Egyptians and Israel." Right? So the Lord says straight up, like, look, I put a difference between the so-called Africans and the Israelites. I put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel, right? Because we're not the same. A lot of people love to, let me get in and with my African side. No, you're not African, right? No, you're Israelite. And I'm gonna prove that, right? Let's go to Deuteronomy 28. Right? Before I get Deuteronomy 28, let me get another source real quick. This is the Bible Compact Dictionary, right? We're gonna look up the word Ham, because Africans, so-called Africans, come from Ham, right? Which was one of Noah's sons, right? They come from Ham. Man, let's get that in the scriptures. Let's get that in the book of Genesis. Get that in the book of Genesis. Right? This is Genesis chapter 5 and verse 32. "And Noah was 500 years old, and Noah begat Shem, Ham, and Japheth." Right? We are descendants from Shem. Right? Shem is who we come from. We descend from. The so-called Africans descend from Ham, right? Let's get that in the dictionary, right? This is the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary, right? Let's look up the word Ham. All right. Salakia. Bear with me. Bear with me. Okay. This is the definition of Ham. in the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. It says, the youngest son of Noah, born probably about 96 years before the flood, and one of 8 persons to live through the flood, he became the progenitor of the dark races, not the Negroes. Right? So the dictionary literally does, and this is written by scholars, right? Which literally just told you, look, he's the progenitor, meaning he's the father of the dark races, but not the Negroes. Right? So even these scholars know this, but we don't know this as a people. Right? They know that we don't come from these elites and these high up white people. They know that we not Africans. Just because we got the same skin color does not make us African, man. And that does not make us the same people. Right? You got East Indians who darker than me. You're not gonna hear them call themselves black or as a nationality, or you're not gonna hear them say, "Oh, I'm African," just because they dark skinned, right? So let's finish that. It says the dark races, not the Negroes, but the Egyptians, Ethiopians, Libyans, and Canaanites, right? Which are what? Different African tribes, right? Well, the Canaanites. And Egyptians are the ancient Africans, right? And the Ethiopians and the Libyans, right? So that's just another source real quick. It's a distinction between us and Africans. We are not Africans. We are Israelites, right? Africans are their really biblical nationality is Hamites, right? Why? Because they are descendants from Ham, right? And we're descendants from Shem all the way down to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, whose name was changed to Israel, right? But let me get Deuteronomy, right? Salakia. Let me get Deuteronomy 28 and 15, right? Because I'm a prove to y'all how we are Israelites, right? Because I could be making this up, but hey, we gonna let the scripture speak. All right? We're gonna let the scripture speak. First I'm gonna get Deuteronomy chapter 1 and verse 1. Right? Because this is after Moses just brought them out of the land of Egypt, right? Because they was in slavery while they was in Egypt. The Israelites were, right? They was in slavery under the Egyptians. And Moses brought them out. When the Most High told Moses, and Moses went to go tell Pharaoh, he said, let my people go, right? This is Deuteronomy chapter 1 and verse 1. And it says, these be the words which Moses spake unto all the children of Israel on this side of Jordan, in the wilderness, in the plain, over against the Red Sea, between Paran, Tophel, and Lebanon, Hazeroth, and Dissahab, right? So he's talking to the Israelites, right? So let's jump to Deuteronomy. Let's get right into it, man. Let's jump to Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 15, right? Because let's figure out why these curses got put on us as a people. There's 42 curses, right? And we gonna see, do these curses match us as a people, right? So-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, right? So let's get it. We gonna get a couple curses, right, through the Spirit. It says, but it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. So Moses told our people, said, look, y'all can either do these curses, right, and be blessed, or if y'all don't do these curses, y'all gonna be cursed. All these curses that I'm getting ready to tell y'all is gonna come upon y'all as a people, gonna come upon us as a people, right? So let's get some curses. Verse 16, cursed shall thy be in the city, right? Who cursed in the cities as a people, right? Aren't we the ones that's getting shot down and gunned down in the streets, right? And then the police officer, they get off, right? They don't really get any discipline. They might spend a couple days or months in jail, and then they get released, right? For literally murdering us, right? But then they get released, right? Aren't we at the bottom of society as a nation of people, right? We filling up. There's nobody else that fills up jailhouses and the graves like our people do, right? So-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, right? We cursed in these cities, man. Right? If we not getting gunned down in the streets, we selling drugs to our own people, continuing to put our people in a low state, right? Our people either strung out on drugs, drunkards, right? Killing each other, right? All in the ghettos and in the hoods, living in poverty, right? They draw a red line and say, look, only black people can live, only minorities and black people, Hispanics and Native Americans can live in the ghettos, in these ghettos, like they did in the 19s, right? And then let's finish it. It says, and cursed shall I be in the field, right? Wasn't we cursed in the field when we was picking cotton? Right? We was picking cotton till our hands was bleeding, getting our backs beat in, right? Out there in the hot sun all day long, right? If we didn't pick a certain amount, we got beat. If we talked back, we got beat. If we looked him in the eye, if we looked Massa in the eyes, we got beat, right? Didn't they use our children to warm up their feet before they got out the bed? So your son had to sit and lay at the bottom of Massa's bed, and before he got out of bed, he used his belly to warm up his feet and then walked, right? Didn't they rape our women, right? Didn't they rape our daughters, right? And we know who did that, right? So we cursed in the cities, and we cursed in the fields, man. We was cursed in the fields, right? Let's drop down. Let's go to verse 21. It says, the Lord shall make pestilence cleave unto thee until he have consumed thee from off the land whither thou goest to possess it. The Lord shall smite thee with a consumption and with a fever and an inflammation and with an extreme burning and with the sword and with the blasting and mildew, and they shall pursue thee until thou perish. Right? What is that talking about? That's talking about when the damn Europeans came over here, right? When they came over here and they damn plagued the Native Americans, right? Remember, didn't they plague us? Right? They brought all those diseases on us. They grabbed about thousands of slaves, but all of them didn't make it over here. Half of them died before they even made it over here. Why? Because they died from diseases, pestilence, right? That they brought to us. That they was filthy, man. Had us stacked in the bottom of the slave ships like sardines, right? Let's get another curse. All right. Let's get verse 29. It says, and thou shalt grope at noonday as the blind gropeth in darkness, right? And thou shalt not prosper in thy ways, and thou shalt only be oppressed and spoiled evermore, and no man shall save thee, right? So the Lord said, look, y'all gonna be blind, and y'all gonna grope in the noonday like the blind grope at night in darkness, right? Like what? It's so hard for men and women, right? So-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans to find light at the end of the tunnel, right? Without these scriptures, to find light at the end of the tunnel, right? They feel like they fighting. It's always something, right? Whether that's trying to get their rent paid, whether that's trying to get food for their kids, whether that's trying to just make it a day, right? It also says, thou shalt not prosper in thy ways. Didn't we have our own Wall Street, right, in Tulsa, Oklahoma? And then what happened to it? They bombed it, right? So on and so. It's plenty other accounts of us prospering or trying to prosper in our own ways. But guess what? They came and took it down. That's a curse that's put upon us, right? That brother or that sister finally get their business going, then guess what? They can't pay the taxes on it, right? Or the city come and shut it down, or something goes wrong with it, right? Or you trying to get the job, but you can't get the job. It just seems like whatever you do, it's hard. It's so hard for you. You got to work 10 times more to try to prosper in this society, man. right? Let's get another one, right? Let's jump to through the spirit. Let's jump down to verse 36, right? It says, "The Lord shall bring thee into the Lord shall bring thee and thy king, which thou shalt set over thee, unto a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, and there thou shalt serve other gods, wood and stone." Right? When we got brought over here, right? We wasn't. I'm gonna just be straight up. We wasn't in Christianity. We didn't serve a white Jesus, right? We wasn't in damn Islam. We wasn't bowing down to the Kaaba stone, right? We wasn't bowing down to the cross, the wooden cross that everybody got in these churches. We wasn't doing that stuff. That's not what it was. That's a direct breaking of the commandments, right? In the book of Exodus, right? It says, "Neither thou nor thy fathers have known, thou shalt serve other gods, wood and stone." Right? Y'all know what that wood is that people worship and serve? The cross. Right? Christianity brought that over here. The Europeans brought that over here. The Spaniards brought that over here. Right? We didn't do that stuff. Right? Stone, Islam, the Kaaba stone. We didn't do those things, man. Christianity was literally forced upon our people when we got brought over here. It was forced upon the Native Americans. It was forced. Catholicism was forced on the Hispanics. That's why you have a lot of Mexicans who are Hispanic. I mean, Salakia, who are Catholics. Right? Let's read on. Verse 37. "And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whether the Lord shall lead thee." Right? So the Lord told us, look, we was going to become a byword. A byword is being called something that you're not. A nigga, right? A spick, right? A wetback, a redskin, right? A Negro, African American, Mexican, Latino, right? Native American, right? All these are bywords that are put upon us by our oppressors, right? Let's get some more. Let's get some more curses. Let's read 41. It says, "Thou shalt beget sons and daughters, but thou shalt not enjoy them, for they shall go in captivity." Right? When we had sons and daughters, right, and they got taken away from us, right? We wasn't able to do anything about that. On the slave yard, they would take our children and sell them to a completely other different plantation. You was on Plantation Jefferson, they take your kids and they sell them to Plantation Johnson. Right? Simple as that, right? Let's go to 32. It says, "Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thy hands." Right? Meaning what? You was going to get your kids snatched away from you, and there wasn't a damn thing you was going to be able to do about it. Right? Who'd that happen to? Right? That happened to us, man. So-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Right? That happened to us as a people, man. That's still happening today. CPS, they take your kids from you. Look, I don't like how you raising your kids. Look, let me take them and put them somewhere else. And it ain't a damn thing you can do about it. What? Go to court? And you might get your kids back, right? What about the Mexicans down at the border right now, right? Who got the wall that's Trump in 2019 and 2020 been talking about building this damn wall, man. And what they doing is they've been deporting the parents. They've been deporting the parents back to Mexico, but then the kids, since they was born in America, they keep them in the cages. They keep them in cages and getting raped up there with AKs, right? In cages. Them fathers and them mothers they got their kids taken away from them, and it ain't nothing that they can do about it, right? What the Lord said, he said, and thy eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thy hands. There's no might in our hands right now because the Lord put this on us as a curse because we wanted to go and disobey his commandments. It's the most important thing in this right now, right? We disobeyed the Lord's commandments, therefore all these things come upon us as a people, right? Let's get some more. Verse 46. How do we? What was the point of the Most High putting these curses in the Bible, right? Let's get it. It says, this is verse 46, and they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever, right? How do you know you going into Walmart right now? Because it's a sign that says Walmart. How do you know you going to McDonald's right now? Because it's a sign that says McDonald's. How do we know that we the children of Israel and we the descendants of Israel and we God's chosen people? Because we identify with these curses. We can look at these curses and say, dang, this is talking about my people. Right? Let's get some more, man. Because you might not be convinced. So let's get some more, man. Let's get some more. This is verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, right? You can't get a job. Every job that you get, you're going to be working for your oppressor. Straight like that. Straight like that. Read on. And the which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger. If you want any type of food, you got to get it from who? Your oppressor. You got to get it from McDonald's. You got to get it from Burger King. If you getting some food to cook at the store, look, we don't own Walmart. White man own Walmart. White man own Meijer. Right? Target, Whole Foods, Aldi's. We don't own none of these stores, right? And if you want to sit there and say, oh, there's black owned stores. Look, where they got to get their stuff from to put in the stores. Who they got to buy the stock from. They not buying it from so-called black people or Hispanics or Native Americans. Who they buying it from? They buying it from the so-called white man. They oppressors, man. So at the end of the day, it don't matter if you got your own business. Guess what? You still got to get your stuff from your oppressor, man. Right? Let's read on. And in thirst, if you want some water bottles, Ice Mountain, right? Fiji water, whatever type of water you drink and you get from the store, guess what? You got to get it from your oppressor, man. We don't own Coca-Cola. We don't own Pepsi. We don't own Gatorade, Powerade. We don't own these things. Our oppressor does. We got to pay for water and it fall from the sky. Let's read on. And in nakedness, any clothes that you want, guess what? You got to get it from your oppressor. Oh, I make my own clothes, brother. Oh, I shop from this black owned business. Guess what? Guess where they getting the materials from? They oppressor. Right? Why? Because this is a curse that the Most High put upon us, man. Right? Read on. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. Who had yokes of iron around their neck? Right? So-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans had yokes upon their neck, man. Yokes of iron upon their neck. And then it says, until he have destroyed thee. What does that mean? Guess what? We don't have yokes of iron around our neck and stuff now. Why? Because we're destroyed mentally. Once he destroyed us mentally, he said, look, we can take the chains off. We can take the chains off now, right? They don't need the chains no more. Take them off. Because they destroyed and they enslaved mentally now. Right? Let's get some more. Verse 49, it says, the Lord shall bring thee, Salakia, the Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. Who exalts himself as the eagle? What's on the back of a dollar bill? An eagle. What's on the back of a quarter? An eagle. What's in the middle of the Oval Office in the White House? An eagle. Right? Let's get Let's get verse 54. It says, so that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil toward his brother, and toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. I'm gonna read that again. So that the man that is very tender among you and very delicate. So once upon a time, us brothers, as a nation, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we showed love towards one another, right? We show love towards one another. How you doing, brother? You good? You need some food? You need some water? How your kids? How your wife? How your family? Everybody good? Now, what the Lord said was going to happen. His eyes shall be evil toward his brother. Black on black crime, right? You got the damn essays and vatos going at it with each other, right? Native Americans going at it with each other, right? Hey, we kill each other more than any other race of people, man. That's facts. You can't get around that, right? And toward the wife of his bosom, domestic violence, right? In the household, right? Read on. And toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. Who's known for leaving their kids, man? Right? So-called black men, they go and they have these kids, man, and then they leave them. They out their life, right? They come back, they pop up every now and then. You feel me? But they not in their life, or they leave and they just never. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? People grow up without a father in the homes, right? Don't Mexican fathers, they come to America and they leave their family in Mexico, but they tell their family in Mexico, I'm gonna come to America, get us a nice situation, and then I'm gonna bring y'all over later. But then what happened? He come to America and then he start a whole new life, whole new wife and kids, right? Toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave, man. That's in the Bible, right? But your pastor not bringing this stuff out to y'all, man. Your pastor not telling y'all these things, right? Let's get some more. Right? Verse 64, right? And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people. There's not anywhere you can go in the world and not see us. It's just not. We're everywhere. Why? Because the Lord scattered us everywhere. From the one end of the earth to the even unto the other. And there thou shalt serve other gods. You got people in Buddhism, right? People in Hinduism, worshiping Brahma, Shiva, and Krishna and all these other different gods, man. You got people in Islam, right? Christianity, right? You got all these people who got gods of their own that they created on their own, right? They got their own gods, and guess what? They gods look just like them. The Indian god look just like the Indians, right? The god of the damn Asians look just like them. You feel me? The African gods look just like them, right? The Arab gods look just like them. But we want to serve all hell. The white man, he even took our God and turned him into a white man to look like him. Right? But what we want to do, we want to go and serve all they gods, right? Instead of serving the gods that our God that we have, which is the God of Israel, man. Right? So let me read on. Thou there shall serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. Right? We got our people in Islam. Right? They in Islam that don't got nothing to do with them. Right? Nothing to do with them. Even in the Quran, they tell you that the Israelites are the chosen people of the Bible. But we gonna stay on topic though. Now let me get another one. This is verse 68, right? Because you still might not believe me, right? You still might not believe me. You might be like, okay, whatever you probably thinking. But let's get this, man. This is verse 68. It says, the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt Again, right? In this Bible, they never went back into the land, the actual land of Egypt again, in slavery, right? That word Egypt is synonymous with bondage, right? Slavery, right? Let's get that. Let's get that in Exodus chapter 20 and verse 2, right? This is the book of Exodus chapter 20 and verse 2. And it reads, I am the Lord your God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage, right? So that word Egypt is synonymous with bondage, slavery, captivity, right? So let's read this in the proper context. Verse 68, Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. Who went into slavery on ships? So-called blacks and Hispanics did, right? We went into slavery on ships, right? Hispanics, they got taken by the Spaniards. That's the whole reason why they speak Spanish, right? So-called blacks, we got taken by the Europeans, right? Englishmen and so on and so forth, right? The damn transatlantic slave trade, right? The damn Silk Road slave trade when the Arabs had us in slavery, right? We was in slavery on ships in the transatlantic slave trade, man. Right? Let's read on. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt, slavery, again with ships, by the wayward which I spake unto thee, meaning exactly how I said it, that's how it's going to happen. Thou shalt not see it no more again. We have never been back to our homeland as a nation ever again. As a nation of people, we have not been back in our homeland, right? Which is what? Jerusalem, Israel. There ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen, slave men, and bondwomen, slave women, and no man shall buy you, meaning no man shall redeem you. That word buy in the Hebrew means redeem, right? So nobody can redeem us out of this captivity, right? Martin Luther King couldn't redeem us out of this captivity. Marcus Garvey couldn't redeem us out of this captivity. Damn, Elijah Muhammad, damn, Malcolm X, right? They couldn't redeem us out of this captivity. Nobody can redeem us out of this captivity that we are in other than the Most High God, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, right? And he's going to, right? That's why it's important that brothers and sisters, man, got to come back to these laws, statutes, and commandments, man. That's what this whole thing is about, coming back to these laws, statutes, and commandments, man. So when he come back, man, you can come into the kingdom, man, and not be destroyed in the land of your enemies, right? Keep the law, statutes, and commandments, man. Let me get that. And then we're going to close up. Get that in the book of Ecclesiastes. It's the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12, and verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. Straight like that. Whole purpose is to fear God and to keep the commandments, man. Right? Get one more before I close out. Right? A couple more, actually. Because we're the only people on earth who don't have a heritage. Right? Our heritage consists of what other people have. Right? We don't have our own heritage. And the Lord told us that. This is Jeremiah chapter 17 and verse 4. It says, and thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not, for ye have kindled a fire in my anger. So the point is, the Lord had us discontinue from our heritage, which was what? These scriptures. These laws, statutes, and commandments is our heritage, man. Right? These laws, statutes, and commandments is our heritage, right? We got our own clothing and the way that we wear them, right? Fringes Fringes is our heritage, right? And a ribbon of blue, right? The food that we eat, the type of food that we eat, I mean, right? Eating lamb, right? Chicken, right? Our keeping the feast days, keeping the feast of dedication, right? Keeping the Passover, right? All these are our feast days. Keeping the new moon, keeping the Sabbath day, right? That's our heritage. Our heritage is not keeping Christmas, right? Which is a pagan holiday, or keeping Thanksgiving, Thanksgiving, which is the slaughtering of all of the Native American Indians, man. It's not damn 4th of July, which don't have nothing to do with us whatsoever. We was actually in slavery right of in that time period while that was going on, and they made that a thing. Right? So that's not our heritage, man. Our heritage is not smoking weed and barbecues, man. That's not our heritage. Our heritage are these scriptures, man. And we gotta come back to these laws, statutes, and commandments, man. Let me get one more. And then we're gonna close out through the spirit. Right? This is Amos chapter 3 and verse 2. It says, you only, I'm going to start at verse 1. It says, hear this word that the Lord has spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up out of the land of Egypt, saying, because a lot of people I know, they probably saying, well, why these curses and these things happening to us? This is why. It says, saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquities.